Okay, so I've probably already promised I wasn't going to make any more of these videos. I've had countless comments of you guys telling me, quit talking about Gus, that's in the past, I'm done, but I don't care. This is another video that I want to do, and today I'm really focusing on the Auburn to UCF pipeline. So there's been a lot of this in the news lately, and I thought it would be fun. I don't know if you want to watch it, but I'm making it anyway. So today, let's look at how many players and coaches have actually gone from Auburn all the way over to UCF following Gus. First up, let's look at the players. So obviously the first player I want to talk about is Big Cat Bryant. And what I want to talk about him, well, he has ping-ponged all over the place, and it looks like he's finally landing at UCF with Gus. First he was with us at Auburn, and then he announced he was going to follow old Kevin Steele over to Tennessee before that blew up in Steele's face. Well, actually, Steele's making off pretty good with that one. But before that blew up in Jeremy Pruitt's face, I should say. It looked like Bryant was following Steele to Tennessee to work with Steele and Pruitt, or to play for them. And when all that went down in a Happy Meals bag, he decided he didn't want to be at Tennessee anymore. And it looked like he may come back to Auburn. I wasn't sure if I wanted him back or not. But in reality, what happened is he's landing at UCF with Mr. Gus Malzon. In case you wanted to see Big Cat's stats real quick, here's what we got. We've got in the 2020 season at Auburn, he had 10 solo tackles, 3 sacks, and 1 interception. So there you go. The next player following Gus to UCF is running back Mark Anthony Richards. I really don't think this loss is too surprising. He's a guy, he's from Florida, so it makes sense for him to go back to Florida with Gus. If you want to look at his stats real quick, here's what we've got for him. In the 2020 season, he had 20 attempts, 76 yards, which brought him to an average of 3.8 yards per carry. He was never an outstanding running back. He didn't really shine for Auburn that much. So I hate we lost a little depth at running back. That is a slight concern I have for the 2021 season. But I don't think he's too big of a loss that I'm devastated. But he's one I hate to see go a little more than Big Cat. But like I said, he didn't make a huge impact last year. Obviously, Tank's going to be the go-to guy. The question is, what depth are we going to have behind Tank? The final former Auburn player leaving Auburn that I know about, or not leaving Auburn in this case, but former Auburn player going to UCF with Gus is wide receiver Nate Craig Myers. Hold on. Is he still playing football? It seems like he's been playing for a long time. Okay, Nate Craig Myers, where is he? He was not even at Auburn. Hold on, let's look at this. He was at Colorado State last year, and that's a little crazy. So he's been at Colorado State for the 2019 and 2020 seasons, but he was at see, this is exactly what I was talking about. He's been playing football forever. How is he even still eligible? But it looks like he was at Auburn from 2016 to 2018. Then 2019 and 2020, he was at Colorado State, but I guess he's using that COVID waiver so that he can get an extra year of eligibility. But already I'm seeing 5 seasons in front of my face. So I'm really, if you really know what's going on here, and you can tell me, help me understand how he has 5 years of stats in college, and he's about to get another year playing at UCF. I have no clue how this is even possible. So if anybody can explain it to me, please let me know. I thought you only got 4 years, but maybe he played under a certain amount of games in that 2018 season for Auburn, because it looks like he only had 2 receptions, 39 yards. So I don't know what happened. Looks like he got an extra year of eligibility early, I'm guessing, somehow. And then he's getting that COVID waiver so that he can play again at UCF. He's going to be like the oldest player in college football at this rate, so I'm really confused at what's going on. But Nate Craig Myers, he's going to join Gus at UCF. If you want to look at his stats last year, he had 6 receptions, 68 yards, nothing too impressive. But for whatever reason, he wants to follow Gus to Central Florida. So best of luck to him. Now let's take a look at those coaches who are going from Auburn to UCF, and the first one is going to shock you and surprise you. It's Gus Malzon. I promise I'll stop talking about him at some point, but we're talking about the pipeline from Auburn to UCF, so I have to bring up his name. Get over it. It's fine. But anyway, obviously Gus moved. That's all I'm saying about him. Along with Gus, we have a slew of other coaches following him. The biggest one I want to mention is Travis Williams, T-Will. He was an Auburn favorite. He was an Auburn fan favorite. And T-Will was one of those coaches that we were really hoping would stay on staff with Harsin. We got Cadillac, but unfortunately T-Will did not stay on staff. We don't know exactly what happened behind the scenes. But evidently this spot with Gus was better because he's getting what he wanted. My guess is that T-Will wanted to be the defensive coordinator. Brian Harsin did not want to give him that chance due to lack of experience being the full-time defensive coordinator, and he brought someone in that was more proven for that job in Derek Mason. So, I think it worked out best for Travis Williams because he did get that spot that he wanted, and it's under somebody that he knows and trusts. So I get it. So that's the first coach, not in order, but that's the first coach that I'm mentioning that left Auburn to follow Gus Malzahn to UCF. Okay, the next group of coaches I'm going to mention have some ties to Auburn in the past. I'm just going to mention all these guys at one time because you're probably not as familiar with them. But at some point in the past, they've all been on Auburn's staff at some point. And here's the ones I'm talking about. We've got UCF defensive assistant Kenny Ingram. We have the special teams coordinator and also tight ends coach Brian Blackman. Co-defensive coordinator and secondary coach David Gibbs. We've got cornerbacks coach Addison Williams. O-line coach Herb Hand. You've heard that name a few times. And director of recruiting and player personnel David Ducati is how I'm going to say it. If I'm saying that wrong, let me know in the comments. But all those guys have been a part of Auburn staff in the past. They may have some ties with Gus Malzahn, but they at least have ties with Auburn. And now they will appear at UCF. Most recently, as far as I know, this past Tuesday, we had the announcement of Ross Newton. He was the director of high school relations at Auburn, and it was announced that he's going to be the assistant to the head coach at UCF, so he's going to be assisting Gus. And he joined Auburn in 2020, and at that time he was in charge of building relationships with high school coaches. I'm guessing he's going to be keeping some of those same roles at UCF, and he also helped contact the professional teams, so it's possible he will do some of those same roles at UCF, but from what we're seeing here, it says that he will be the assistant to the head coach at UCF. That really sounds familiar. It's ringing a bell. Sounded a little like Dwight.
To deal with it.
And that's where you have an assistant regional manager.
Yes, it is. Assistant to the regional manager.
Same thing.
And finally, we have the former Auburn running back Cam Martin will be joining Gus Malzahn in more of a support role. So good for Cam Martin. He's getting on staff for a college team, for a coach he used to play for. I have no hard feelings for him. Just congratulations. That's all I've got for this time. I know you guys love this content anytime I mention the name Gus Malzahn. So if you love it anytime I mention Gus, please let me know down in the comments below. But otherwise, it's Auburn related. That's why I'm mentioning it. If it wasn't, I wouldn't talk about it. But I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know. You can hit the like button. You can leave a comment. But as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.